Hello learners, this is Priyadarshi Shubhakant and once again I welcome all of you to my sessions on CNC milling machine, and today we are going to have the discussions on datum setting. This is one of the most important session because unless until we are thorough about this datum setting process, we cannot run the program. In datum setting process, what we do generally, now we tell the machine that this is my reference point of the workpiece. So according to that, the machine will cut the profile. So this is one of the very much important session. So please watch till the end. And here what happens after this offsetting, we'll be having the sessions on different types of programs. So without wasting much of the time, let us start today's session on offsetting process. So let us start with the datum setting, but before that, let us clamp the edge finder in the collet chuck adapter. So here first of all in the spring collet we'll take the adapter, and in behind of that let us clamp the pull stud. The unit it is getting tightened with the collet adapter is known as the pull stud. Then next we need to take the nut of the collet adapter along with the collet, and we have to fix it in such manner as it is shown in the video. You can see it. Then again what we have to do, now we have to tighten it on the collet adapter. The nut is to be tightened manually on the collet adapter, and after that what we will do, the shank of the edge finder will be inserted inside the collet and it is to be tightened firmly. By hand we can tighten up to a certain level, and once it is done you can have a look how it looks like. In such manner we have to make our edge finder ready, and once it is done, next for tightening it properly we'll take the help of a tool stand, and in this what happens, now manually by using a C-spanner we'll tighten the nut properly so that the edge finder get tightens properly. Next, now the same adapter whatever we have tightened, we'll put it inside the machine spindle. For that we went to the jog mode, and in that we press the tool clamp button, and also declamp button is the same button. Once you press it, it will clamp. The second time you press it, it will declamp. And here also again I am showing you one of the face mill cutter. You can see how it is again clamped on the machine spindle of CNC milling machine. So now we need to rotate the tool. So to rotate the edge finder, we'll go to the MDI mode and we'll write the manual command, that is M03 S500 end up block insert, and we'll press the cycle start button. And once we press the cycle start button, you can see the spindle will start rotating, and now the edge finder is also rotating along with the spindle. And how to do that one, let us know. We'll manually move the axis, and the edge finder it will go and it will touch the edge of the job. So here in between I just want to show you one of the slide. As you can see over here in this edge finder, you can see these are three different images. The first one, the edge is not yet touched, you can see, and how it is rotating. Once it is touched, you can see this is the second figure. It will move in a concentric manner. The yellow color part you can see, that is the edge finder, and the shank part is your white color one. So it will be rotating in a concentric manner both, and just manually wheel in micron will be giving the disturbance in the axis, and once slightly it deviates from the shank, as you can see in the 3, slightly deviates. At that point we'll stop the spindle and we'll know that our edge finding is done. So this is the proper procedure how to use a edge finder. Let us move to the video now. You can have a look over here as we are touching the particular edge of the job, and it is done. Then we'll go to the position screen, and in that we'll do X0 preset. As it is done, you can see that one. Once again repeating, go to the position screen and do X0 preset. In the relative value, the X will be getting 0. Now we'll lift it up in the Z axis, then we'll move on in the X axis and we'll touch the other parallel edge. Doing the Z axis down now, you can see this one. The same way in the machine you can see how the edge finder is coming to the other end, and you can see some gap is there, still it has not touched yet, and slowly we'll be touching the other end, and once it is touched, you can see slightly deviated. So this is the way how the edge finder, you have to do the edge finding. You can see slightly it is coming out. So once it comes out at that particular position, I mean spindle stop, you have to do it. So once it is done exactly, stop the spindle and check what is the relative value in the x-axis and put half of that. Like we had taken 52.0 as the value and we put x 26.0 preset. We did in this manner. Then the next way how to go for the x-axis, lift it up. The z-axis is to be lift up. Then in the y-axis, move the edge finder and touch one of its edge. Now it's rotating in a concentric way and just it will slip from its side. At that particular moment, you have to make the spindle stop. Now y0 preset will do it and the relative value of y-axis will get 0. Then next, the other parallel edge of the y-axis is to be touched and will proceed manually and will move towards the other edge of the y-axis. You can see the spindle is coming down along with the edge finder and we are going to touch the other edge of the y-axis. The tool that we are using over here is known as the edge finder and you can see a slightly deflection from its point. That means the offsetting is done. And here next we'll see how much the y value it is. We'll put half of that exactly. Like same y52 was there and we took y26.0 and we did the preset. So now what we'll be doing, manually we'll be moving the axis to the 0. In relative value, we'll move the axis to the 0. You can see we are moving now the y-axis to 0. The same way it is shown over here, how it is going towards the 0. So once the x0 and y0 is done, in relative value, we'll go to the offset screen and in that we'll go to the work offset table. We'll select the G54 and in that we'll write x0 and we'll press measure. Then y0 will press measure and here your offsetting is done. So once our offsetting is done, now we need to check the offsetting whether it is okay or not. So for that purpose, what we need to do? We need to disturb the axis a bit. Then after that, we'll go to the MDI mode and we'll write down the program that is G00, G40, G54, G80, G90, X0, Y0 and the block insert. Then we'll reduce the feed override percentage. Then after that we'll press the cycle start and slowly we'll increase the feed override switch. As you can see, we have disturbed the axis and automatically it is coming to the center. So our datum setting or offsetting process is done perfectly, and manually in the Z axis we can bring it down and we can check whether it is in the center or not. Now similar way for the Z axis, how to do the offsetting, you can have a look over here. Similar way, instead of edge finder we have to use a face mill cutter or any type of end mill slot drill. The cutter you are using, that cutter you have to mount it and directly you will bring it down, touch the surface of the job like we are getting it down, and once it will touch the surface of the job, then we'll make the Z0 of the offsetting of the job. You can see now it is touching that one, and here what happens, we'll go to the offset screen again, and in that work offset will go, and Z0 will select Z0 and press the measure button, and here the offsetting for the tool is done. So always remember, if you are changing the tool, how many number of times you will change the tool, that many number of times offsetting you have to do it for the particular tool. But for X and Y, once it is done, it will be always same unless and until you change the setting of a job. So that was all from today's session regarding the datum setting, and hope you liked it. And in upcoming session we'll be having the sessions on different programming, and the first programming that will start on, that will be from phasing cycle. So for today this much. Stay tuned to our classes. In next session we'll be having the programming on phasing cycle. So till then, have a good time. Thank you all.